Well, it's only fair for me to talk about this game. I talked about No Man's Sky twice, how it's better than Starfield, but mainly I acknowledge Hello Games' road to redemption. I mentioned that I don't forgive Hello Games for their bad launch, just like I don't forgive CD Projekt Red for theirs. But these companies, if they actually learn, here's the thing, they don't deserve forgiveness, they deserve redemption. And before talking about this expansion, I got an older video I posted on TikTok about Cyberpunk back then, a year ago actually. And it seems I've been proven wrong. I had that video done near the end of September, but posted in October. Let's roll it. Oh man, Cyberpunk fanboys. Man, they have been becoming annoying lately. I didn't want to talk about this, but oh man, this stuff, the fanboy stuff, just keeps getting worse and worse. The main point of this video, though, these Cyberpunk fanboys keep using this one defense that I've seen over and over, especially in that first video I talked about. Their defense is Bethesda. That's all they got. They keep mentioning Bethesda and how their games are buggy, even though their rep is screwed up and people had enough of their mess since Fallout 76. And even then, that was after the frustration built up over years. Yet these fanboys are basically saying, oh, Bethesda release buggy games all the time. And yet, Cyberpunk gets this mess, gets all this hate. That's what they say. That's basically what they say. Now it's time to go over that other bit. And the part that this fanboy responded to. It was after I mentioned that in reviews over on Steam, it's filled with fanboys. And this person said, oh, so are No Man's Sky Defenders fanboys? Well, actually, yes. We now have 3 games like this, 3 resurgent games that come out freaking buggy as all hell. These games that should have financially flopped, but they didn't. They were patched after years. No, get it right the first time. I'm going over this bit in editing. I have to update my page after this because I'm 28. And yet this concept of finished games at day one is just foreign to a lot of people today. Just, wow. Like games used to, but no, we got these 3. First was No Man's Sky, then Sea of Thieves, now Cyberpunk 2077. And Cyberpunk is the absolute worst of this, because despite the lies, this game, the day one buggy, falsely advertised, by the way, version, that made money. That version of the game still sold. So why in the world would CD Projekt Red release functional games after that? The bigger companies will be following these buggy ass games and just tread lightly. In fact, let's go back to Bethesda. Look at Starfield, their No Man's Sky ripoff. You don't think Bethesda is looking at Hello Games right now? You don't think Todd Howard with his stand, Sweet Little Lies, ain't looking at that and thinking, oh yes, we could just rush out Starfield and not deliver on our promises at day one. We could just patch it over like 2 or 3 freaking years, and in the meantime, modders will do our job for us on PCs and consoles. You don't think that'll happen? All because these type of games are always given an inch, and the companies take the whole football stadium. In fact, look at Blizzard. After Diablo Immortal, they're going greedy with Overwatch 2. All because of the Diablo Immortal whales. These companies don't learn if they're still making money. Back to CD Projekt Red. Just why? Again, they will not release the night-gen versions of Witcher 3, and especially The Witcher 4, in a functional state. They won't do that because Cyberpunk didn't flop. They made money. They got away with it. So why wouldn't they double down? Especially with you fanboys kissing their asses. And I'm sure most of you are talking because of the Cyberpunk anime, which, speaking of, they knew getting Studio Trigger to work on, that's probably the one good Cyberpunk-related decision they ever made. Get one of the best studios to work on your trash IP and just let them go nuts. Point is, yeah, the anime delivered, but not the freaking game. Not at day one. Because CD Projekt Red screwed it up and ruined their entire rep. I can't emphasize enough how bad it is that they lied to investors. I mean, when you do something that even EA never did, you know you done fucked up. So on Starfield side of things, I'm right. In fact, there is one new mod out for Starfield right now that makes space flight to planets possible, not going through the atmosphere yet, but flying from one planet to the next. And this mod came out quick.
Starfield, you can fly your little heart out and you will never make it to this planet, even if you're right next to it. This is because Starfield doesn't have any use for flying up to a planet's atmosphere. You can't actually land on it from space yet. Now with the slower than light mod activated, once you're moving forward, by pressing 1, your ship will accelerate past the vanilla limits. And every time you press it, it will increase exponentially, like 100 times faster than the speed of light. By pressing 2, you can incrementally decrease speed, and 3 will slow your ship to basically a full stop.
Yet Bethesda couldn't do this? Anyway, on CD Projekt Red side of things, I'm proven wrong. At the time of that older video, Phantom Liberty wasn't even announced, but Phantom Liberty is their newest release, and it's actually in a functional state. In fact, it's more than just DLC. It's an overhaul for the base game as well, with tons of improvements that makes the game actually look like the game it was presented back in E3 years ago. In fact, look at this next improvement coming up. Showing better detail in glass when you shoot it. I gotta admit, that looks pretty good. Now, don't get me wrong, I always prefer games to be finished at day freaking 1. CD Projekt Red wouldn't have to go through this road to redemption if they never screwed up with Cyberpunk to begin with. But it seems that they are learning. A good launch, very good numbers on Steam charts alone. In fact, look at Starfield's current numbers on Steam chart. And at the time of recording, Starfield has been out for nearly 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks! Cyberpunk, on the other hand, Phantom Liberty is a good product. It's not just blind loyal fanboys supporting this. You got a good game carrying the Cyberpunk IP instead of an anime. And more importantly, CD Projekt Red are rebuilding their rep, it seems. It took them just 3 years to do it. Oh, and after Phantom Liberty's good launch, now there is a lot of pressure on them to keep that up. Because if they screw up again with the next Witcher, then that's it. Compare that to Bethesda. They still use the same ancient Fallout engine for over a decade. They still haven't learned and never will. CDPR are redeeming themselves, but Bethesda doesn't deserve this redemption. They had tons of chances. Elder Scrolls 6 is not looking good right now. Apparently it will only be on Xbox and PC. Fine, Microsoft is saving us the trouble just like they did with Starfield. And before that game, apparently there's going to be an Oblivion remake and a Fallout 3 remaster. So yeah, you know Bethesda will really try to rely on their old good games. Really try to rely on the past now to get some kind of good look way before Elder Scrolls 6 is around.